Okay, so my paper was over the effect of water on agricultural business and economics. All right, in my first body paragraph, I talked about how crops need water. Crops need water in order to grow. The water seeps down through the soil into the roots, and it allows the crops to grow. Some crops that we use in our everyday life are vegetables, such as asparagus, zucchini, squash, and etc. But once we grow the crops, here is where like the business side of agricultural business comes into play. The farmers, they have to reach a quota each year, so once they hit that quota, they have to ship it out to the businesses, and those businesses they ship them out normally inside the state, but such as like the Georgia peaches, they ship them out pretty much all over the country because everybody loves them. All right, the real estate side of agricultural business and water. People pay more for living on the water, and the prices go up. Uh, from living in East Texas, I've noticed that if you have a water supply on the property, the value goes really high in price. You need the water supply uh, to if you want to start up a ranch. You need the water supply for the animals, the fish, or the crops. And the animals need it for drinking purposes and for like getting out of the sun and bathing. People pay more to live on the water, like I said, mainly just because they like the view of it, but also some people actually live on the ocean to go surf, and it's just a lot easier than driving 15, 20 minutes out of their way. They would rather spend a little bit more money. All right, the water supply on the business side of agricultural. The Colorado River, that is the river. It is used between 7 different states such as Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, Wyoming, New Mexico, and Utah. They call the that is like their major source of water to grow crops, and just for water usage. In order to keep the water in so the river does not go dry, they have made a couple dams, such as the Hoover Dam, which is located near Las Vegas. The Hoover Dam like builds up water and stores water for later usage. So if we're in a crisis, we can use that water if the river eventually runs dry. Timber. Timber plays a big role in Texas. In East Texas, they are the government's buying out property so they can start building new malls, new parking garages, and all this. But what they do not understand is if they cut down all the trees, then some a couple trees might affect the groundwater, might affect the water under the ground, which is groundwater, and it pollutes the water, so that water is basically useless now. In conclusion, water is is a necessity for agricultural business. Water is needed for everyday life. We need water to grow crops that we eat and wear. Water also makes property values skyrocket in price. Without water management systems such as the Hoover Dam, the Colorado River would run dry. With that, without water, there would not be any timber for us to cut down to make malls and parking garages. But we need to find a way to preserve our clean water since we have so little. Thank you. And here are my references. Thank you very much for listening.